Hi teachers, in this video we are going to walk through setting up a free ReadWorks account that gives you access to free content, curriculum, and tools to power teaching and learning from kindergarten through 12th grade. So to get started, we're going to select login, and if you haven't created an account yet, you're going to select sign up and then go ahead and proceed with creating your account manually. Once you have that account created, you're going to log in. You may get prompted to donate. You can always click close. That option is completely up to you. Clicking close will take you further into the ReadWorks content. So once you have created that content, we are going to get started with class administration. And I strongly suggest you create a class from Google Classroom. So ReadWorks doesn't currently have the option to integrate with Clever. So we're going to use Google to do the work for us. We're going to allow Google to grab our roster, and then you want to find your class in the drop-down list. Once you found your class, select the grade level for your class, and then you can decide if you want to publish assignments to Google Classroom by default. I'm going to leave that unchecked because I want to decide what I want to publish. It is up to you. We're going to go ahead and import that class. And I now notice I have the students here. I can see that one of my students actually already has an account. Once I have my students in, I do have the option to create groups for my students. I can decide on a group name and select multiple students. This will make it easier for me to quickly assign content to those students. You can watch videos that are available at any point on the right in order to get a little bit more of an understanding of how things work. There is a reading mindset snapshot as well as a student library access. You can decide if you want to enable or disable this. Enabling it then allows automatically hide passage assigned to students. You decide how you want to handle those passages that you assign to your class when you have this library enabled. So now that we have our class set up, we are going to move forward with finding content. I'm going to pretend that I am a third grade teacher here. I'm going to select some content. You can assign at different levels, and depending on where you assign will help dictate what it is that you are assigning to students. So here I see that there are 2 passages and then 2 challenge articles. Book of Knowledge is a prompt for the students, and then a word detective activity. So I have the option to enter the whiteboard projector view so that I can show this up on my board. I can print things, or I can select to assign. When you go to select to assign, you can choose what aspect of the article set you want to assign to students. So you can decide if you want the audio, if you want the challenge articles available, the book of knowledge, and the word detective. From here, you can decide how you want students to have options. Do you want them all to read the same? Do you want them to choose any article in the set? In this case, I'm going to have them all read the same. You can, again, pick that group for easy selection, specific students, or the whole class. Then, because I didn't select that automatically publish to Google Classroom, I have this option to decide whether or not I want to publish this to Google Classroom, keeping in mind your start and end dates, because students cannot continue working on assignments after that end date. If there are ELL and extra support features available, you'll be able to check that here. So I'm going to just publish to Google Classroom for the moment and click Assign. And I'm going to click OK. Now we're going to head over to Google Classroom to take a look at what this looks like for a student. Here's that teacher view. I can see that it's going to prompt students to sign in. And then as I pull up my student account and head over to classwork, I can see it's called ReadWorks Climate Change. And then as a student, I'm just going to click Sign in Google Accounts. It is going to have me select my name to sign in. I'm going to allow it to access the first time, and then I will be able to get started. So I see that I have one article to read now. I have two that I have options for. So I'm going to read Melting Ice Sheets. I have the option to have it read aloud. And then I have the Book of Knowledge activity, which wants me to type my answer. And then I'm going to submit, and I can return to assignments. I can see all of my assignments in here at any point. I can click to continue. Again, the Book of Knowledge activity. I can see assignments that I have submitted. And then I can see my big book of knowledge, which is a record of everything that I've done. So I still need to finish aspects of this assignment. Once I've done that, it will show up under submitted assignments. We're going to go ahead and log out. And now we're going to take a look back on that teacher side and see what things look like there. So teacher is going to log back in. Remembering that the teacher login is not linked through Google Classroom at this time. So the teacher is going to go into that class admin and be able to click into that student, see any features for that student, go into assignments in progress, and then can see that 1 of 5 is done. They can change the end date, delete. If we go into that activity, I notice that instructional technology has read 2 articles. And then I can see the entries on the articles that they have read. Here is one entry here. I can also see them below. I can add that to the class book of knowledge, or I can add a note back to the student. Adding to the class book of knowledge is kind of like a collection of everything that students have learned. Obviously, there are other features in here that you can play around with, but this will help you get started with using ReadWorks with your class.